All right, guys, we are going to do this review together, and I'm hoping that this video works out for it. But if not, listen to the words that I'm saying, because the words are the buttons you should push on the calculator. So number one, it says the table of information shows the relationship between temperature in Fahrenheit and the ice cream sales for the canteen. Graph it on your calculator. Do they represent positive, negative, no correlation? All the steps, okay? We're gonna go through all the steps. So first thing you wanna make sure of is that you don't have anything stored here. You wanna clear that out. So in Y1, you're gonna go clear. Make sure your plots are on. They probably are, because they don't go off on their own now. And then you're gonna go stat, so we can put our points in, okay? So edit, enter number 1. And then we want to clear out our list. So we're going to go up to L2 here, hit clear. Remember, not delete, clear. This one right here. Clear, and then enter. And that'll clear out that list. Go over to L2, up, clear, hit enter, and that clears out that list. Okay, now we're going to put our chart in, this one right here, as our L1 for the temperature and our L2 for the ice cream. So L1, we have 85, enter, 71, enter, 84, enter, 66, enter, 77, enter, 75, enter, 68, enter, 91, enter. Okay, then arrow over to the right to get to L2, and then L2 is 200, enter, 160, 190, 100, 185, 180, 115, and 230. Okay, notice my lists are the same length. That's what we want. Then we know we have corresponding parts that are matching up here. From here, now what you're gonna do is you are going to, sorry, I'm trying to plug in my headphones for my speaker so I'm not tapping with my thing. Bear with me. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is, if you want, you can right off the bat hit zoom 9 to see your plots. That will tell you positive, negative correlation. This would be a positive correlation. I'm just going to circle that on here. Okay, that's a positive correlation. It says sketch the window, including your X and Y scales, windows. Find the line of best fit. And like I said before, I like to find the line of best fit first, because it helps me graph the table more accurately. Why did my video stop recording? Hold. Okay, so what we're gonna do from here is, now we have our plots. Hopefully you got that. I think the video on the first one cut out. I'm not sure why. So what you're doing is zoom 9 to get this, okay? Now we're gonna go stat, calculate, so arrow over to the right, calculate, and then 4, the line of regression. You get this. We go down to store the regression equation. While we're here, we go alpha, that's the green button, and then trace, and we want Y1, so hit enter, and then you're gonna go down and calculate. Hit enter there, and now we can write our equation. So it's gonna be, for my line of best fit, Y equals, we will do, it says round to 2 decimal places, so 4.58 times X minus 183.51. Okay, so that's our equation. And then what you can do to draw your graph in now is zoom 9 again, and that will draw your line in. Again, remember, I like to start my graph where it falls on this line and where it falls up in this corner, so that falls nearly right in the corner. This one is a little bit higher up, so I would go here, and I would go probably like here. Remember, those aren't points on the graph. I'm just using them as a visual for you. But if we graph this, okay, that's where our line ends up. So what we're going to do then is we're going to plot our points around that. So if you're looking at the graph right now, our points would be, there's one down here, another one underneath here, then we jump up above, then we leave a little break in the action, 2 points there, and there's 2 points pretty close together right here, and then there's one that's nearly on the line up there. Okay, so that would be our graph. And then if you go back to your calculator and you hit window, that window tells you your X min, so 63.5, your X max, which is 93.5, your Y min, which is 77.9, and your Y max, which is 252.1. Okay, and that's all you need for graphing calculator. So I'm going to turn this video off. And then we're going to keep going from there. Okay, so it asks us, how accurate is your line of best fit? We would have to look at, oh, I lied. Shucks. Okay, I'm going to do this without a video. You're going to hit Stat, Calc, so arrow over to Calc, number 4, line reg. Okay, and now you'll see your X list, Y list, frequency list, all of that. You're going to go down, 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 calculate, so that we can see our numbers again, because I took those away when I clicked window. And you should see, maybe you saw this on your last one, which you can totally put this in on the last one too. R is 0.93. We'll go 4 decimal places, 0.9346, okay? So how accurate? It is very accurate. Because the correlation coefficient is close to 1. Okay. Then it says a heat wave is coming. Use your equation to estimate the amount of sales when the temperature soars to 96 degrees next week. So what we're doing for that temperature, that was our X's, okay? So we're gonna plug 96 in for X into that equation. So it's gonna be 4.58 times 96 minus 183.51. And when you plug that in, you get Y equals 256.17. So we would say it's $256.17 in ice cream sales for that temperature is what's expected. Okay, all right, moving right along. Second graph here. We have this equation. One thing to remember, whenever you see that squared, that means we have a parabola or a U-shaped curve, okay? Remember what it means when it's inside. When it's inside here, that's your left and right. So we are moving left or right here. When it's plus, normally we would think that's to the right. We're actually gonna move to the left for plus. So X plus 3, 1, 2, 3 to the left. Okay, and then your next 2 points, there's nothing out in front here. So your next 2 points, you can go up 1 over 1. You can't keep going up 1 over 1 because it's a parabola, but for the first points beyond it, you can. And then you draw that U-shaped curve in. Okay, so that would be that graph. Next graph, this plus 3 is on the outside, not inside parentheses, so this is your up and down. When it's positive, you're moving up. So we're going to go up 3 from 0, 0, right here. There's no negative out in front of here, so it's going to open up. So we're going to put our next 2 points on and do our U-shaped curve, just like that. Okay, another U-shaped curve, right? This is a parabola. This negative 2, normally we would think left 2, but we're actually moving to the right 2. It's always opposite when you're inside the parentheses. This one is down 4. Okay, so right 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 down is going to put us here. We go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and we get that U-shaped curve. Okay. All right, example 3. So given all of this, we're going to find the vertex, we're going to find the axis of symmetry, and then we're going to graph it. So starting with the vertex. Remember, the vertex comes from this -1 and this +3. But remember, it's opposite of what it looks like it is inside the bars, and it's the same as what it looks like outside. Okay, so our vertex right now is the point 1, 3. Okay, that means our axis of symmetry is x equals 1. And don't forget to put the x equals. If you tell me your axis of symmetry is 1, it's wrong. Okay, your axis of symmetry is a line, and the way you write a line is as an equation. So x equals 1. Okay, so we're going to plot 1, 3 right here. And then x equals 1 is this line, a vertical line at 1. Okay. And then this is the next important thing. A is -2. That means we're doing like a slope, -2 over 1. Hopefully you remember when you see these absolute value bars that you have a V shape, okay, or an upside down V shape. This is actually going to be upside down because it's a -2. So from the point, the vertex, we're going down 2 to the right one, and we're going down 2 to the left one, and this will be our graph then. Okay. All right, last thing. It says, given the parent function y equals f of x, write an equation for a shift of 3 units left, 5 units down. Okay, so it's going to be y equals a function of, now what's inside the parentheses is our 3 units left. And remember, it's opposite of what it seems. So to the left is normally minus, so we're making it plus. And then 5 units down would be -5. Okay? Let's look at this a different way. Let's say you had f of x equals the absolute value of x. Okay, it's an absolute value function, but let's do the same thing. 3 units to the left, we would say f of x equals the absolute value of x plus 3 minus 5 units down. Okay, so that's what it would be for absolute value. If it was a quadratic, so this is absolute value. Okay, if it was a quadratic, it's going to have the squared. So let's say from our parent function, f of x equals x squared, right? Your shift, if we did this same shift, it would be f of x equals, in the parentheses would be x plus 3 squared. Outside of the parentheses would be -5. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference between the quadratic and the absolute value. And even the linear, this would be just a line for that one. Okay, so that's a little bit of the key concepts that we've done. Your homework looks a lot like this, but in a little more detail. Okay, good luck with that.